this time signed by Trump. The butchery resumes in Gaza. A tiny baby girl lies lifeless, dressed in a rainbow-covered jumpsuit, pulled from the rubble after an Israeli airstrike. She was killed before she could even speak her first words. This is Gaza now. The death toll keeps rising. 404 people have been killed, 174 children butchered in their sleep, almost 44%. 89 women, 32 elderly people, countless more wounded. The images keep coming, charred bodies, parents cradling their murdered children, bloodied survivors stumbling through clouds of dust. And behind it all, a new signature. Trump stepping in to take over where Biden left off. Trump says he will open the gates of hell on Gaza, some achievement, opening the gates of hell on children, babies and mothers in tents. Like his predecessor, Trump has given Netanyahu the green light to continue the slaughter. In the dead of night, 100 warplanes rain fire on families huddled in their makeshift tents. It is Ramadan. They fast in the depth of starvation after 17 days without aid, with no clean water since Israel cut off electricity. Parents stagger through the darkness, carrying bloodied children and babies, searching desperately for help. But there are no ambulances, no hospitals remain. 15 months of relentless bombardment have wiped them out. The wounded are heaved onto horse-drawn carts because there is no fuel, no vehicles, no way to flee. Netanyahu and his American backers declare the ceasefire dead. They were never negotiating in good faith. They just needed time to reload. The genocide resumes in Gaza, but it doesn't stop there, because at home, the campaign to silence anyone who dares to speak out is escalating. Trump himself made that clear when he used Palestinian as a slur against Chuck Schumer. He's no longer Jewish, he's Palestinian. Schumer, a staunch Zionist, had dared criticize Netanyahu's far-right government. That alone was enough for Trump to strip him of his Jewishness and brand him something else, something meant to be demeaning, because in this political order, anyone can become Palestinian. To be Palestinian in Trump's world is to be cast out. It is to have your voice silenced, your rights erased, your humanity revoked. Of course, had Chuck Schumer not been Jewish, Trump would have called him anti-Semitic, but even that category is becoming irrelevant. It is no longer about who you are. It is about whether you obey. Even Jewishness is no longer protection. Anti-Semitism is being weaponized, not to fight hate, but to silence criticism of Israel and its extremist defenders. Israel has blocked foreign journalists from entering Gaza, ensuring the world cannot bear witness to its genocide, while its propaganda machine drowns the truth in distortions, denials and lies. Palestinian journalists are hunted down, targeted for exposing the horrors inside the blockaded strip, the mass concentration camp. When bombing them wasn't enough, Israel cut off the internet, ensuring the slaughter could continue in the dark. And beyond Gaza, the repression expands. A campaign is underway to silence the witnesses, those who refuse to look away, those who protest, those who chant, "Not in our name," those who demand to end the massacres. Students, the conscience of nations, are under attack. Mahmoud Khalil, a Columbia University student, is facing deportation for nothing more than expressing his political views. A Palestinian student, targeted, silenced, exiled. Journalists, academics, activists, anyone who dares to resist this descent into barbarism is being targeted, censored, criminalized. This is the new McCarthyism. The same machinery of repression that once crushed communists, civil rights leaders and anti-war activists has been reactivated to silence dissent against Israel's genocide. Today, it is not about ideological purity. It is about absolute obedience to the state of Israel. Trump and his allies, who spent years ranting about political correctness and branding themselves as champions of free speech, now lead the charge against it. Weeks ago, J.D. Vance stood at the Munich Security Conference berating Europe for censoring free speech. Yet back home, under Trump and those who worship him, free speech is a privilege reserved only for those who repeat the official line on Israel. Pro-Palestinian students are arrested, expelled, stripped of their degrees. Professors who challenge Israeli policies are fired. Journalists who expose Israeli war crimes are blacklisted, harassed, silenced. Films documenting Palestinian suffering are cancelled. Human rights organizations are branded terrorist sympathizers. Even universities have become instruments of repression. Columbia University, once home to Edward Said, the Palestinian intellectual who reshaped global discourse, now warns its journalism students not to write about the Middle East because no one will protect them if they do. The same institution that once celebrated Said's legacy is now silencing the next generation before they even begin. This is how authoritarianism tightens its grip, not in one sweeping act, but piece by piece. If we bow down, if we surrender our right to say no to the trampling of international law, to the massacre of children, to the slaughter of reporters, to the kidnapping and torture of doctors and nurses, then we are not just betraying Palestine, we are betraying ourselves. If we look away as makeshift shelters are bombed, as farming is weaponized, as an entire people is wiped off the map, we are not just spectators to genocide, we are enablers of it. If we allow the silencing of truth, if we accept the blacklists, the arrests, the witch hunts, we are not just losing our freedom to speak, we are conceding that truth itself is a crime. If we let the architects of war and repression dictate who is human and who is not, then we forfeit our own humanity, because to remain silent in the face of this barbarity is to accept that might is right, that laws mean nothing, that rights belong only to those powerful enough to defend them with bombs and surveillance and prisons, that some lives matter and others do not. And in doing so, we cede more than our voice. We cede our freedom, our morality, our humanity, our place in history as those who dared to stand for something greater than fear. Trump uses Palestinian as a slur word, as an insult, but to millions around the world, it has become an inspiration. Palestinian is no longer just an identity, it is defiance. It is the refusal to kneel before occupation, before massacres, before tyranny. Their struggle is now a universal struggle, a fight against barbarism, a stand for justice that transcends borders. And across the world, in every city, in every language, the free and the fearless rise declaring, in our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians, and we will not be silenced, and we will not be erased, and we will endure.